The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Somewhere, behind granite battlements, beyond impenetrable gates, indoors, something evil is brewing, and it isn't Elsinore beer. Here, an unsuspecting heiress has become the innocent pawn of a diabolical genius. At his command, space-age super lasers that can incinerate an entire metropolis. An army of deadly hockey warriors. At his fingertips, lots of beer.
Just one more test, and then we are ready for the world.
What fool dares stand in his way?
Good day, I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug. How's it going, eh? Welcome to our movie, eh?
At last, television's Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis have just hit the great white screen. These are the adventures of Bob and Doug McKenzie. Strange Brew.
That's private company business.
Perhaps one of these would refresh your memory, eh?
The gallant champions of truth.
He's lying, all right.
I don't need no machine to tell me that, eh? I didn't do it, I swear.
It must be them.
Justice.
I think it's time the little lady and I had a chat.
And the pursuit of bad guys.
We will move towards Oktoberfest as planned.
I can't believe it. He drank it all.
Oh, no!
And I will not underestimate our little friends again.
With Max von Sydow.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Paul Dooley.
You murdered him first, and he was already dead when I killed him.
Lynn Griffin.
If I didn't have puke breath, I'd kiss you.
And an all-star cast.
Take off, you boy. You take off, you nut. Okay.
Don't miss the biggest, the grandest, the first McKenzie Brothers movie of all time. The Adventures of Bob and Doug McKenzie.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
That's it. We're leaving, kids. Come on.
Strange Brew.
You hoser, they wanted to see our movie, now they're mad at us. Take off. It's only a preview, eh? I didn't want to show them the best part.
Okay, so that's our topic for today. So, good day.
Hey, you guys! What? Take up!
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Jimbo, and joined again by...
That's not Canadian, but still likes to say A occasionally.
I thought you was going to say Kyle, eh?
Kylie.
This is a movie that Kyle picked out. It is episode 129, Strange Brew, from 1983. This is, man, what a movie.
What a choice. What a spur.
Should I read them what you sent me?
yeah, sure.
See if I can find this. So let me go back. Kyle, I'll ask you a question. Kyle, what's your favorite movie with Rick Moranis in it?
Rick Moranis movie. Oh my gosh, Jimbo, that's an excellent question. Oh man. Okay, the answer for me, and I think like he's close to like maybe the main character of the movie. Little Giants. I love that movie growing up. Yeah. That was one, I don't know if it's a Disney film or not, actually, but I remember that film growing up, and it was just one of those films I had on a VHS tape, and I watched it kind of like all the time. And so for me, that's actually like a fond childhood memory, is watching Little Giants over and over and over again.
Well, I have
I think it's great.
I think either where he played Lord Helmet in Spaceballs, iconic.
Excellent.
Or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That is a really good movie.
I think I only watched it like once when I was a kid.
Really?
I didn't think it was like great or anything, but I thought it was okay. Second favorite for me though, My Blue Heaven. I love that.
What is it?
My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Oh my god, it's amazing. It's the sequel to Goodfellas. Literally, it really is. It's the same character from Goodfellas. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
All right. So this was sent to me at January 24th at 6:09 p.m. And I get a ding, and it's Kyle, and he says, "Oh gosh, who had the ridiculous idea to put Strange Brew on our podcast list?" And I said, "You." And he said, "That person is a fool." I said, "I haven't watched it yet. Should we switch?" He said, "I don't know. It's not terrible, but I can't find anything worthwhile in it either." So then he says, "You got any suggestions for an alternate movie?" And he's like, "Oh wait, I think we already said we're doing Strange Brew on the podcast." I said, "Yeah, I'm going to hold you accountable for the bad movie you picked." But I didn't hate it as much as Kyle. I don't think it was okay.
By the time I got around, I was like halfway through it, and I'm like, "What did I do here?" And by the time I got through it, I'm like, "I don't hate this," but it wasn't like,
it's the first time Kyle has messaged me dejected about a movie that we were covering.
Well, specifically a movie I chose.
Yeah, he's like, "What did I do?" So, Kyle, we'll go ahead and let you take this away. The old Strange Brew.
The old Strange Brew here. All right, Strange Brew, released on August 19th of 1983, directed by Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas, and written by Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas, and also Stephen D. Jarnett. Let's see here. This movie is a quick synopsis here. Canada's most famous hosers, Bob and Doug McKenzie, get jobs at Elsinore Brewery, only to learn something that's rotten with the state of it, eh? I won't do that whole podcast. I can do that. That'll be offensive eventually. Budget of the film was $4 million in 1983. Adjusted for inflation, that'd be about 11.7. Opening weekend, it made 1.9 million. Adjusted for inflation again, that'd be about 5.6. And then gross worldwide, it made 8.5 million, which adjusted for inflation would be about 25.2. So this movie kind of like probably broke even. By the time theaters release is kind of done, I'm sure it steadily makes a little bit of.
I think it's probably a cult classic by now.
I'm sure it is. People appreciate it enough, and I understand, like, if it had some popularity going in, and then like later in life, it's that cult fan.
Well, it's like I told Kyle earlier. I said this movie basically reminded me of Wayne's World.
World, maybe even Clerks, somewhere around there. Kind of a similar mindset.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So it falls in that same kind of wheelhouse, but specifically for Canadians, I'm sure a lot more specific. I'm sure like this movie has definitely got to be bigger in Canada. It has to be, right? Maybe Canadian listeners will write in and tell us like, no, we don't like Strange Brew. Okay, sorry.
No, we would have to have a listener in Canada for
I'm sure we have a listener in Canada. Surely.
Sure.
Surely. You can't be serious.
And don't call me sure.
Okay. We're being silly now. As always. Moving on to some technical details here. This is a color film for Metro Color, actually. It wasn't actually a full-on different like Technicolor or something like that, too. Aspect ratio, standard 1.85 by 1. And let's see here. That's just for the technical details right there. Movie actually was filmed in Canada, at the Ontario, Canada, specifically, for the entirety of the filming. And filming dates was October 12th, 1982 to December 17th, 1982. So filmed just a little over 2 months of filming time. Next up, go to the awards real quick, where it won just one reward, which is surprising in itself to me. But it had an award of the Genie Awards, where it won the Golden Reel Reward, awarded to Louis M. Silverstein and Jack Grossberg. Oh, also the runtime was just a quick 90 minutes. So
it was a quick movie.
Yeah, quick movie. You don't have to suffer that long.
Wow, Kyle. Wow.
The film isn't that bad. I'm being mean to it. I shouldn't be. Moving on here to the cast, which is definitely the most appealing part about this movie overall. We have Doug Thomas playing the character of Doug McKenzie. Dave Thomas is also in the films The Blacklist in 2013.
Did you say Dave Thomas?
Dave Thomas, not Dave Thomas.
That's the founder of Wendy's.
Yeah. The Blacklist. No, it says here The Blacklist in 2013. Actually, I think that's the TV show, so I don't know how long he was in there, or if he's still in there, or if The Blacklist is even ongoing.
Wow,
I've never watched The Blacklist.
It's good.
Yeah. He was also in the movie Coneheads in 1993. That's an excellent film. Yeah. And then has his co-star, the legendary Rick Moranis, who has been in many, many films playing the role of Bob McKenzie. I wrote a big old casting for him. Rick Moranis, of course, The Flintstones in 1994, Little Giants, also in 1994, My Blue Heaven in 1990, Ghostbusters in 1984, Spaceballs in 1987, Little Shop of Horrors in 1986,
great movie.
and Parenthood in 1989.
All good movies.
Rick Moranis was just dominating the 80s and early 90s, man.
He retired early in his career to take care of his kids.
Yeah.
I wish can you imagine what he would have done if he would have stayed in acting? There's so many more movies with him in it.
He made the absolute right decision, I'm
that's
sure.
What I'm saying.
Man.
He did. But what a great career
human being.
had.
Yeah,
Yes.
great career, great human being. And, he made a lot of great stuff already. It's not like it's not like you can't get your fill of Rick Moranis. If you watch all Rick Moranis films, he had a whole career in 1 decade, really. So he did incredible work there, and still love him to death today. And honestly, he'd probably come back anytime he wanted to. Still, so and I'm sure his kids are grown now. So, Rick Moranis just terrific. Sounds like a terrific guy in real life, and just a terrific actor, comedic actor especially. Next up, we have another legendary actor who makes a surprising appearance here in a way, because it doesn't feel like his film. It really doesn't. But we have Max von Sydow playing the character of Brewmeister Smith. Max von Sydow was also in the movie Flash Gordon in 1980.
I love it.
Minority Report in 2002. He was in the Game of Thrones show for I think 2 seasons, playing the Raven or something like that, the Raven Master or whatever it was called. The Three-Eyed Crow, the Three-Eyed Raven, I think, was the role he played technically, and a bunch of other character roles. And it's a great Shakespearean actor, I want to say, just a fantastic on stage performer too. And he sadly passed away in 2017, I believe, and I didn't know that until we started doing the cast notes of this podcast, which made me sad. Next up, though, we have Paul Dooley playing the character of Claude Elsinore. Paul Dooley was also in the films Hairspray in 2007. I believe that was the John Travolta version. And Popeye in 1980. That was the Robin Williams movie. Yeah. Next up, we have Lynn Griffin playing the character of Pam Elsinore. Elsinore. I have to go back to the movie to actually remember how to pronounce that last name properly. But Lynn Griffin was in the movies Black Christmas in 1974 and Curtains in 1983. Now we have Angus Mackins, Angus Mackins, playing the character of Jean LaRose. Angus was also in the films Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope in 1977, a little-known movie. I don't know if you've seen Star Wars before. And Flight of Fury in 2007. Next up, we have Tom Harvey playing the inspector. Tom Harvey was also in the films Dealing or The Berkeley to Boston 40 Brick Lose Bag Blues in 1972. And then lastly, we have Douglas Campbell playing the character of Henry Green, who was in the film Oedipus Rex in 1957. And that is the cast of Strange Brew. So, little film there. Jimbo, let's go on to the notes real quick.
All right, so there's not very many notes for this movie either, but I'll get to them. Kyle, do you know what SCTV is?
SCTV? No, I do not.
Well, it was a television show called Second City Television, where it was basically comedians doing skits and stuff, kind of like Saturday Night Live, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
But here are some of the cast members, just so you know: John Candy,
wow,
Eugene Levy, Joe Flattery.
This is an all-star cast.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Dave Thomas.
Good.
Andrea Martin. Martin Short. Rick Moranis. Harold Ramis. Robin Duke. Tony Rosato. John Hemphill. Mary Charlotte Wilcox, and Jan Randall. And it ran from September 1st, 1977 to July 17th, 1984. So it was the first and the last released.
I think one other actor, I feel like it falls in the same kind of Rick Moranis kind of mindset of they were so cool in the 80s and early 90s, like Martin Short for me too.
I love Martin Short, dude.
He disappeared from movies so quickly though, but he made a few good films where I'm like, oh man, I love Captain Ron, and that one movie we did, that Lucky movie.
Pure Luck,
thank you.
Clifford,
yeah, everything Martin Short was in was really, really great with him in it.
Three Amigos. We got to do Three Amigos.
Three Amigos is so good.
We got to put that
so good.
Put it on the list.
All right. Yeah, and I remember he did a few episodes of How I Met Your Mother in like 2000s, and that was great too. Martin Short, great actor.
But the reason I dug up that SCTV is because the role of Mr. Smith was written with Max von Sydow in mind, but Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas thought actually enlisting him would be impossible. They requested von Sydow to the MGM studio and studio head Freddie Fields telephoned the actor in Stockholm, Sweden, and instructed the co-directors to tell him the story. It turns out that Fields, then president of MGM, just recently produced Victory, which has co-starred Yvonne Sydow. So he sent the esteemed actor the script. Instead of hashing it out with Fields, Yvonne Sydow ran it by his son, who was a huge SCTV fan, and encouraged his father to take the role.
That's incredible. And like props on him for being such a good sport.
He was probably like, if he read it, he was probably like, I ain't taking this.
Exactly, because I mean, granted, you think like actors like Moxman are so high and mighty about their own brow and acting prowess that they wouldn't dare settle for like this comedic drivel, it's nonsense. But no, he was a good sport about it, and he got in this film, and I really appreciated that for him. He makes the film richer for being in it.
Yeah,
you know.
But the director's trademark for Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas with Rush, the bumper sticker on the van in reference to Rush song "Lakeside Park" in driving directions just after Van's brakes lines were cut. At one point, Bob says he saw Jedi 17 times. What isn't obvious now is that Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi opened in May 1983, while production of Strange Brew had wrapped 5 months earlier in December 1982, despite the film taking place in 1984. The McKinsey couldn't refer to it by its full title since the Revenge/Return issue was still up in the air while they were filming. So you know, if it was going to be Revenge of the Jedi or Return of the Jedi, so they just said the Jedi. The name of the brewery in this film is Elsinore Brewery. Max von Sydow, who played the brewmaster in this movie, was also in the film The Seventh Seal. In that film, he and his squire were heading towards the village of Elsinore, but decided not to because the plague was there. The basic plot, as well as many of the name of the brewing company, are references to William Shakespeare's Hamlet. The castle in Hamlet was Elsinore. The heir to Elsinore's father was murdered by her uncle, who then comes to her as a ghost. In Hamlet, the uncle's name was Claudius, and in the movie, his name is Claude.
Oh, cool. Yeah, there's a little stuff there.
The debut theatrical feature film of both Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis as actors, writers, and directors.
And all three at once. I wouldn't say like Rick Moranis surely appeared in other films before that, didn't he?
It says it's his.
And yeah, okay, I believe it. Yeah, 1983. It's before Ghostbusters. So yeah, all right.
All right.
When I think of Ghostbusters, that's the real debut of Rick Moranis in my mind.
Among many others, the "If I don't have puke breath, I'd kiss you" line was improvised. Colin, I can't believe you did not cover this character in the cast.
Which character?
Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc
did the voice of Barney Rubble in the Flintstones, and Rick Moranis played him in the live-action film of the Flintstones. They star together in this film. Do you know who Mel Blanc plays in this movie?
No, I don't. Tell me.
Hang on, let me find it in my notes. It's in another part. Mel Blanc, who provided the voice of Mackenzie's father, was paid $10,000 for 1 day's work.
Oh, wow. Man, for one day sounds like a good gig sometimes.
Yeah, it does. There is I did not know this either, but I guess there was a successful comedy album, Bob and Doug McKenzie comedy album, The Great White North, from 1981, which had sold over 1 million copies in North America.
1 million copies. That's ridiculous.
I wonder if it's Rick Moranis.
Surely it had to be.
Why don't you look it up? Well, I don't know.
The Great White North. Okay.
Yeah, The Great White North comedy album.
I'm looking it up right now.
Bob and Doug McKenzie. Mm-hmm. All right. Before filming, all of the major breweries wanted the McKenzie brothers to appear in beer advertisements. The filmmakers had the promise of Molson's Brewery, but once the brewery found out that there was a joke in the film about putting a mouse in a beer bottle so that a complaint can be made in order to get free beer, they distanced themselves from the film. The filmmakers were also banned from filming in Brewer's retail store and from using the name Brewer's Retail. They ended up building a replica of the store at a cost of more than $45,000 and calling it the Beer Store. Ironically, Brewer's Retail later changed the name of its stores to the Beer Store, and they continued to operate under that name.
Wow, cool. Okay. I didn't pull up the comedy album, but I did pull up something else surprising. There is a show called Bob and Doug TV series from 2009-2011. It actually stars Rick Moranis doing the voice of Bob McKenzie and Dave Thomas.
It's an anime.
Yeah, it's an animated cartoon show.
Dave Thomas made it.
Yep. So that's cool stuff right there. So they reprised those roles and characters. That's neat stuff there.
The emergency vehicles used during filming were all real Metropolitan Toronto Police Squad cars. The ambulances used briefly were on loan from Metropolitan Toronto Ambulance. When Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis were in the hockey rink preparing for the game, Dave exclaims to Rick, "I am your father, Luke. Give in to the dark side of the Force, you knob." Rick Moranis responds with, "He saw Jedi 17 times, eh?" Ironically, Rick was speaking to Agnes McInnes. Agnes played the role of rebel pilot Gold Leader in the 1977 film Star Wars.
Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff.
A was spoken 174 times in this movie.
That's a lot of times, eh?
Yeah, really, eh? The van jump stunt into Lake Ontario was performed from the vehicle driving off an 8.5-foot ramp, then flying through the air about 40 feet over the lake for about 175 feet prior to landing in the 30 feet of water.
Wow. That's an awesome stunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some filming days during principal photography ran for 18 hours, according to the movie's press kit. Also, about the Lake Ontario van jump stunt was performed in the vehicle driven by stunt player and stunt driver Jerome, and he's got the little indentation, so it may be Jerome. Tibergian, and stunt coordinated by stunt player and stunt coordinator David Rigby. Prior to the stunt jump, stuntman Tiberhigen, who was billed as Jerome Tiberhigen, did a location reconnaissance dive to the bottom of the lake, I guess, to make sure that they weren't going to, land on anything under there.
It's an impressive and great stunt and otherwise kind of mediocre movie.
But an MGM studio media release claimed that the stunt of the van jumping into Lake Ontario was a world record.
What? That's cool. All right. Good for them.
Filmed on location.
And
last but not least, one of two early 1980s cinema movie comedies involving beer and breweries. The first one was Strange Brew from 1983. Well, it wasn't the first one, but it was this one. And the other one was from 1981. Kyle, Take This Job and Shove It.
Shove It. Never seen that one. Never heard
1981.
of that one. 1981. Cool stuff there. All right.
So, Kyle, what is your thoughts on your pick? Everybody, Kyle's pick, Strange Brew.
This is a fun time where, the podcast brings out movies and discovery in ways that we otherwise wouldn't have had it to. I wouldn't have thought to watch Strange Brew by myself probably ever, even though I...
Whoa. You were the one that found it and said, hey, let's watch this. I haven't watched it.
I bought it for I want to say $4, and I was like, sure. And I just pulled up, Jim was like, hey, what's the movie we see on the podcast? Well, I just bought this movie called Strange Brew. It's got Rick Moranis in it. I'll watch that. Sure, we'll just do that for the podcast. Off the cuff, didn't really think of the consequences of it. But boy howdy, now here we are. So anyways, it's kind of a thing where, this film I probably wouldn't have bothered with, honestly. Even though I already bought it, I probably wouldn't have bothered with it for a very long time, if at all, in my entire life. Now that I've watched it once, I can say this movie is, right at, 6 out of 10 territory. It's, just barely worthwhile for me to watch it overall. I don't regret having watched it. I regret having chose it a little bit, but it's not a terrible movie. It's completely inoffensive in a way of just it was fine. There's some jokes in there that actually land. There's some, comedic stylings, and I'm like, I can see where things came from. And I understand a fandom now that I didn't really appreciate.
Time out.
Go for it.
What about the drunken dog that flies at the end? Lands in the
they just really,
that's when it kind of lost me.
Made it look like a skunk and it just happened there. And no one questions it, but no one even acts like that's a weird thing to happen at all. They just expect it. They just said, hey, dog, you can have all the free food you want. And that just inspires him to fly.
He's like, look, you got to go here. You just see him take off, and then he just starts flying. And then he has the cape on like Crypto, the dog from Superman's dog.
Similar to kind of Wayne's World, where they just kind of break the ending. And it's like, this sucks. Let's just do another ending altogether. Let's have a flying dog at the end, because why not? We can do whatever we want. We're making this movie. It's dumb in a way that I can kind of appreciate and get behind. So, I appreciate it in that sense, and I get to understand a little bit of a fandom that I didn't really appreciate, and there's a little bit of history to it. That's kind of fascinating. There were some cool notes in there, especially the world record about the van stunt and all kinds of stuff too. It's got things that I like. So I can't say I don't feel like my time was wasted on this necessarily, but it also wasn't used in its most high in its greatest efficiency anyways. So I think this movie's a 6 out of 10. It's fine enough. It's okay. But it's not like a movie you have to see. You have to go out and see it for any reason at all. But it is okay. Jimbo, how do you feel about it?
Like I said, dude, it's just like Wayne's World, except in Canada.
Yeah.
It actually didn't have a bad plot. They basically they used their dad's money when they were supposed to bring beer home to him. And He's like, well, you better bring my... He's like, you didn't spend all that money I just gave you. And they're like, no. So then they get that idea that they're going to go work at the brewery. Well, they get the idea that they're going to take the mouse on the bottle to the beer bottle returning place and get the beer for it or whatever. And then they get laughed out of there. It has a lot of action. It's just... I don't know. It's a weird movie.
Yeah.
It's fun times. At times, it's funny.
Yeah.
How the one guy is playing the video. They may seem stupid, but Dave Thomas's character, I can't remember which McKenzie brother it is, but
Doug.
Yeah, Doug. He he's basically goes in there and he like fixes the electricity, to the thing, and then the video games light up, and he's like, "Oh look, Pam, you're on here," and it's like, "Well, yeah, that's my birthday," and then it shows her dad, and it's basically her dad communicating through the electronics that, hey, something's going on, because she's inherited all this brewery and all that.
This is just occurring to me right now off the top of my head, but it's like Strange Brew is kind of Wayne World meets Dumb and Dumber in a lot of respects too. Where like these two
meets
kind
Stranger Things.
Maybe not Stranger Things, but like Dumb and Dumber specifically, because it's two idiots who solve the problem by being dumb.
Exactly.
Like that's the whole thing. Like they're so dumb they luck themselves into the plot where they save the day in a way that I really appreciate.
And you were kind of harsh on it. I laughed. I was expecting something totally terrible by the way you started off your messages. And
Maybe I set you up in the best place to appreciate it.
Yeah, and I was like, what is he talking about? This is kind of funny. And then when they started with the flying dog, I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
I kept your expectations low, so you got pleasantly surprised.
But I mean, you have legendary Max von Sydow in there, dude, after you've seen him in The Exorcist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're like...
Just being a goofball, too.
Yeah, and I like that. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, is it one that's going to be in my greatest movies of all time? No, but if I want to sit down and just have a fun time and be stupid, and then this is actually, and I do believe Kyle said, well, maybe I need to be drinking when I watch this movie so I can appreciate it more. Is what you said.
I said, this is the kind of movie I might enjoy more of an adult beverage. Yeah. And I think that's intentional. I think that's what they designed the audience for.
Right.
And I agree. It's just like, there's worthwhile things about this movie, but it's not bad. Right. It's not bad.
So, well, Kyle, there wasn't a lot of information on this movie, so I think we're about to wrap this one up. It's a little bit shorter episode, so I think this episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.